Hey, it's your boy Z here, and welcome to Snap in 5, where I'll give you all the top news and information from Marvel Snap this week in 5 minutes or less. Let's jump to it. It's Monday, so it's your last chance to grab Frigga. So should you scramble and get her? The verdict is in, and top creators are not a huge fan of this card. The consensus seems to be that this card has a lot of potential with a fun, unique ability, but just feels underwhelming or just bad to some creators. This card seems to make your deck better in terms of what it's already trying to accomplish, but it will also function just fine without it. I was able to grab Frigga, and she's a blast to play with, but sometimes does feel a little clunky. Now, if there were to be a buff to her or change her to a true cost in the future, this card would be amazing. As I mentioned last week, this past cache is still one of, if not the best cache to go for this month, with Red Guardian, which I got, thank you Ben Brode, being a must-have, and Copycat being a solid card. So if you happen to get her by accident, going for the other two cards, I say try her out, and you may have fun with her. Otherwise, if this is the only card you're missing from this week's cache, you can pass on her and save your keys. Now, if you're still not sure what you want to do, then I'd recommend checking out Drewsky's card review video of Frigga. He gives his thoughts about the card and some really cool deck options and why he likes the card so much. As a bonus treat, I'd also recommend checking out Jeff Hoogland's video discussing his favorite decks to climb to Infinite. What is awesome about this video is that he also includes a deck for each card in the Spotlight cache, so check it out. Now, we are in week 1 of this new Marvel Snap season, War of the Nine Realms. So how have things been shaking out since the new cards have entered the meta? So if you've been playing Marvel Snap this week, I am sure you have seen the Season Pass card Surtur. As discussed last week, this card is a great card to add to your collection, and this has elevated the Big Dumb Idiot set completely, and has given it a solid 3-drop that flows in that deck seamlessly. I was able to grab this card and have been absolutely enjoying it. This deck also cracked into the top 10 decks of the meta this week, so keep watching to see where it landed and what that card list is. Now, I want to make everyone aware of some new news coming out with Marvel Snap. There's supposed to be a patch on 11.12 and an OTA for 11.14. This is a big deal, since due to the holidays coming up, there will not be a patch on 11.28. So after this week and these two updates, we won't see any major changes for a solid month. I will try to put out a video talking about both the OTA and the patch on Friday before you head into your weekend. Now, let's look at the new card that we're getting this week in the Spotlight cache, and we have Malekith, and it's accompanied by Athena and Valentina. Malekith is a 4-cost, 6-power card that has the ability, on reveal, add a 1, 2, or 3-cost card from your deck here. It reveals at the end of the game. I would say this card has been the most controversial card this month, as some creators feel it's been amazing, it's going to be amazing out of the gates, and others feel like it'll just be a Goliath fodder. This card has the ability to cheat out a low-cost, high-power card at the end of the game to steal the lane that Malekith is in. And it can make some fun combos at the end that your opponent can't predict, like a last-minute Hazmat when you have Ajax on the board, a Maximus when you have Rona on the board, or a Silver Surfer to end the game. Now, one thing to point out, this card does thin out your deck, which is in a 12-card deck game is a pretty powerful ability. RIP Chavez. Now, last week I said this week's Spotlight cache was potentially the best or second best one. I got to make a correction, as Malekith doesn't feel as solid of a card upon thinking about the card and researching other creators' thoughts. It doesn't feel like a must-have. Athena, I believe, is an amazing card. She's totally worth going for if you don't own her yet, as she's arguably the best 2-drop in the game with the Fall of White Widow. And she goes so well with the Kitty Angela package, works great with Anti-Venom, and will create more deck options for you. Valentina is an okay card, but just not a necessity. I would say this is the 3rd best cache of the month. Since I already own Athena this week, looking like a skip for me, unless Malekith absolutely wrecks the meta next week. Now, let's take a look at the top decks in the meta, where we see what's shaking up the meta and what the top one is. The first deck is a Surtur deck. I told everyone it's going to be here, number 1. Number 2, Agent Sarah. And number 3, a Toxic Sarah list. This is a huge shakeup, as Sarah was hovering around number 8 and 9 last week in the meta and has jumped to 2 and 3. This may be a great deck to start playing. At number 4, we have a Strong Guy Zoo deck. At number 5, dropping from the number 1 spot, is a Bounce list. And if you want a more in-depth breakdown of these decks and to see what 6 through 10 are, I would check out Coccia's weekly breakdown below of the top 10 decks in Marvel Snap. Now, if you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button below. I'll be coming to you every week with Marvel Snap content in 5 minutes or less as you prepare for your week of play in Marvel Snap. If you're a creator and if you'd like me to feature and promote your long-form content, please message me via my email below. Also, if there's any information you are looking for each week in a short-form content around Marvel Snap, please leave a comment below with your idea or suggestion. I'll add it to future videos. That's all I have for you this week. I hope you have a great week, great pulls, and lots of cubes in your future. I look forward to seeing you next week. See ya.